Now it says you're live. Okay, so we're
Now
live.
that looks a lot clearer. Yeah.
Yeah, that's very clear.
Really,
Okay,
really
and it does hear me because I could see that down below.
It's so clear I can see this thing coming.
All right, now how do I get, oh, wait a minute, I see it.
I think they'll.
URL, hold on a second.
Help you out.
I emailed the link to you.
Oh, you already mailed it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so let me send it out and then we can go live. Where's Matt?
I'm over here hiding.
All right, we're gonna turn this towards you. You're gonna tell your life story, or not your life story, but
Do
your,
you need a chalkboard?
Yes.
Okay.
Is this going to be how you came into Judaism and like your
Yes.
background?
Here,
Oh wow.
I'll carry
Okay.
I'll carry the board and you can carry the stand.
That works good.
We're all ears.
I have two. Oh, man, I'm gonna be in the way.
Joshua, or would that be Hosea?
It's a good question.
What are you looking for?
Hosea, would that be Hosea, or would that be Joshua?
Take the captain, Sharon.
What are you asking though?
Hosea.
What about it?
Chapter and verse.
Jose,
You should be sitting in this chair now.
en español, Jose.
You're missing out.
no, that's his chair.
Oh, snap. All right.
I would never sit in his chair.
Well, I was just trying to get out of Matt's way, really.
It's not Hosea.
If you ask him, he'll say he's not using it. Go ahead, but I bet you should ask him.
Yeah, he's a good point.
Oh, Elizabeth chatted me earlier and she said she can't wait to meet everybody. She's driving over here, so I forgot to tell y'all that.
Hey, Earl, you okay if I use
She's
your
coming
chair, man?
today? She's coming
She's
tomorrow?
coming
I just
tomorrow.
want to make sure, man.
She's driving us.
Hey, it's not my chair, it's our chair.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that.
And Mary Ann asked Owen, and Owen said that he had too many things going on. There's no way he can make it, unfortunately.
What I do, when I'm trying to talk with him in the house, here's his books. That's English. This is Spanish.
Oh, Hosea would be Joshua.
Right, so what I do, I look up there and I write them down here, and then I put the name beside it, you got me, see? Then I know what his books are in Spanish, that way I can give him the right thing. Just stay off the bottom down here now.
Mary Ann, is he using a Christian Bible?
Yes.
Yeah, so.
Okay. Well,
It's the only Spanish one we have to work with.
no, you can pull up Habad and you can switch it over to
Oh, yeah, you can do
Spanish.
it. That's right, you can do the bottom.
Let me give y'all a warning,
It's not gonna work.
let me give y'all a warning.
Where,
This right here is the King James Bible, okay? It has both testaments, the true one and the false one. I know where everything's at, upside down and backwards. I can show you stuff in this book I can't show you in any other book. Does everybody understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
If you try to show him something on the phone, he's not gonna believe it because he don't see it in his Bible.
Oh, yeah, you got a point.
Let him use his Bible because it's gonna say basically the same thing.
This is
And
why
then you'll get understanding.
when I discuss the Bible with Christians, I try to use their Bible version.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right, when I
Because
go
they-
teaching,
if they can pull it out of their back pocket and flip it over to the page where it says, "I'm the Lord, did all these things, and there was no other," in their own Bible,
Right.
I didn't slide that in on the
that's
Bible.
right.
Right.
When I do a teaching, it's always in the King James Bible, and then if I get her to insert something from the Art Scroll, she put Art Scroll edition, because when your audience, they're going for the King James. And the King James is a good translation, basically,
If you,
in the Hebrew
But it
Bible.
takes so long to do. I know what you're saying, but it does take forever to.
But you better let him use his Bible, because he
Yeah.
won't believe it if you don't. He don't
Okay.
believe in his Bible.
Yeah, that's a good point.
He can't read Spanish, he can't read English, so, you know.
Yeah. We need a Spanish book for him.
I've just been knowing him I've been knowing him for years now, I really I'm trying to.
I missed the call from Rabbi Cohen.
oh, nice.
oh, no,
I'll sit down if he's on.
we're still live.
That's fine.
As long as that guy sitting on the end right there is here, we got his way.
Tell him you got carried away in teaching.
Yeah, I didn't hear it.
I didn't hear it ring either.
Oh, all right, I'll try again.
I'm ready to go whenever you are.
Okay, so let me turn this towards you. How's that? You can see it.
You think maybe he should be sitting a little closer, or?
Can you make that?
We can make it
big?
closer. Yeah, we can go
I
closer.
don't know.
Well, wait a minute, that cord only goes so far.
If there's plenty of wire down that cord. Yeah, plenty of it.
Okay, yeah.
On the
Yeah.
left side.
Scoot it to where you're
Watch
comfortable,
coffee.
Matt. You know? I'm just saying that from the YouTube, it just,
It was small. Yeah, you're right. No problem.
we want to see your pretty face, Matt.
I want to put this Coca-Cola somewhere out of camera range.
The water bottle's in the range though. It's still, see that? Yeah. That's good. Now, we're not gonna be able to read all that writing up there unless you're gonna point to it.
I am going to point to it. I can read.
Well, it's already live.
That says me.
Yep.
That's where I am today. And this is a timeline. We go back to the beginning with Adam, Noah, Isaiah, Yeshu Hamamzer, Paul, his sidekick, or what do you call it, a spokesperson? Then Muhammad, Joseph Smith, and me. Those are the most glaring, thank you, sir,
No, thank you, sir.
steps in the revelation process. This is what I grew up as a Catholic. I was born a Catholic, raised as a Catholic, and I am so Catholic. Like we did CCD, which is like Catholic Christian doctrination, I think is what it's called, or indoctrination
So you all studied Muhammad
every
a little bit?
week. Pardon me?
You all studied Muhammad?
No, we did not.
Oh, well then why do you have him up there with Joseph?
Because it's in the timeline. Here's,
Oh, okay.
I'll get to him.
I'll let you.
He shows up. As a Catholic, I was taught to believe that only those people matter.
Right.
Anybody after this Yehu doesn't count. That their revelation is irrelevant.
Wait a second. Well, how
Everybody
many-
after him, according to the Catholics, everybody after him is
He's saying
irrelevant,
that's his past teaching.
So wait a second. Muhammad is the head of the Muslims.
right?
Oh, Joseph Smith's the guy with the gold tablets.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, those are revelations, allegedly, that don't mean anything to me personally, and here's why. I was born into the Catholic Church, and in the Catholic Church, Yeshu HaMamzer is the be-all and end-all. Okay. I had problems with that theory, and I had them. There are many, many questions. I tell myself today that there are 3 questions that I had that I couldn't find really good answers for in the Catholic Church. I asked the priest, I asked the nuns, I asked my mom, I asked everybody I could think of. The 3 questions, I might not remember them in order, doesn't matter. My first big complaint was there's 2 places in the Bible that says not to make any graven images. Exodus 20 somewhere-ish, and Deuteronomy chapter 5 somewhere-ish. It's in that neighborhood.
The Big Ten.
Right, the Big Ten. And those the Catholics think belong to all Catholics. The 10 Commandments belong to the Catholics. They don't, they're Jewish, but okay, let's go with Catholic
One
now,
day
'cause
somebody's going to explain how. But not now.
okay, yeah, it's because this issue. In a Catholic church, you cannot open the door unless you encounter an idol. It'll be a Mother Mary, it'll be Joseph carrying a lamb on his shoulders, or Saint Christopher, Saint Nicholas. Somebody is in that church, and in the
That
middle.
word- I'm sorry, I don't want to interrupt you.
It's okay.
The
I
word
got
SAINT
SIMCHA.
is pronounced SIMCHA.
Yeah.
That's how it's pronounced.
Yeah. Okay. So then here you go into a church, a Catholic church. You cannot go in a Catholic church that doesn't have a crucifix. Crucifix is not a cross. The crucifix is a cross with a body hanging off of it. That's a crucifix.
Where'd they get
That's
all
an
the
idol.
bodies?
And
Where'd they get all the bodies?
they'll kiss the feet. They'll bow to it. They'll cry in front of it. This is an idol.
He got the crucifix. Tell him crucifix. No correcto.
Okay.
You ain't on there. He's on
Now, that was the first question. Why, in the Catholic Church, are they claiming that the 10 Commandments apply to Christians, and yet, in a Catholic Church, you will find idols, which are forbidden in the 10 Commandments?
But that's number 3.
That was a major question that I had. And another major question that I had was, How can 3 equal 1? God says, I created the world, I myself, I did it alone, there was no one beside me. And yet, Catholicism teaches that he is not one, but 1 in 3 or 3 in 1, depending on if you like oil or if you like fables. That was the second one. I had questions that I couldn't find answers for from the church, from my parents. I can go more recently, find out what Muhammad said or Joseph Smith said, but that ignores the problem. The problem I have is this Yehu. These people are going to compound that.
Right.
If I want to find out why this Yehu is wrong, I got to go that way. I got to go back, find out what this Yehu supposedly learned when he was a baby. Because that was the true religion. Whatever is before this is what Moses taught. Nobody on the planet, not even Adam, knew God better than Moses.
Right.
This is because Moses lived with God on a mountain for 40 days twice, at least, and then spoke with him frequently as a man talks with his friend face to face. Anything that we think we know about God, if it doesn't come from that guy, no, wait, where's
You
Moses?
don't got Moses on there.
How did I skip Moses?
No,
He
no,
was-
no, it's not that you skipped it. You don't understand. He went for a walk up a mountain.
He was busy, yeah.
He was busy.
He just made his entry.
All right.
Actually, he was conquering a kingdom.
Yeah, he was busy. Okay,
He was
so
conquering Ethiopia.
if I want to find out what this guy knew, I have to go back to what Moses taught, because
Right.
everything comes from Moses. Even Noah. What Noah knew was forgotten until the rabbi is shaking his head, no, by the general populace, until
General
God
populace.
revealed it at Sinai to Moses and reminded Moses. Cool.
The Levium, I don't want to interrupt, but
It's good.
when, if you remember, Yaakov sends Yehuda down to Egypt first,
Right?
right, to open up a yeshiva, to keep education going.
Right. He did this through a background method. He had his sons help him out with this
Okay,
sending.
But the point is, certainly Yaakov knew everything Noah taught because he learned under him,
From Abraham.
from Abraham. Well, he learned from Abraham, but he also learned, he was in the yeshiva Shem and Ever
So he knew it
for a
from
number of years.
Melchizedek.
He knew it from Melchizedek.
the source.
Right. And he taught his kids, especially Yosef. He taught Yosef even more in depth than the other ones. Over the generations, the Levium stuck with it, whereas the other guys got involved with what was going on in the world, so to speak,
This is why Levi wasn't enslaved with the rest of
Right.
Israel.
because they didn't take part in that stuff. They were still learning.
Is that an aspect of the fact that they were the firstborn or not?
Firstborn, no, we were three. Reuven,
Reuben
Shimon, and
first.
Levi.
All right.
No, it was the fact that Levi had his head in the books.
So studying helps.
Studying helps keep the stuff living.
Yeah.
They were the only one, Levi was the only Shevet, the only tribe that kept up circumcision and to kept up kashrus, whatever they knew of kashrus. Everybody else was doing whatever they were doing. But the Levium, if you remember, Moshe comes and says, everybody has to have a bris, right, before they eat Korban Pesach. You've got 600,000 males between the ages of 20 and 60. They have sons, they have grandparents. So you're talking 3 million men,
At least.
at least. Who's going to do it? You have one guy who knows? I mean, come on. So you had basically the whole Shevet Levi. You had a bunch of people who knew how to do it.
How many days before the Exodus or the first Passover was that? Because if they're going to have a circumcision 3 days after that, they're going to be out of commission.
They basically, on Rosh Chodesh Nisan,
the first day of the month.
the first day of the month. Moshe tells them that Korban Pesach is going to be on the 14th,
Right.
and they have to have matzah, maror, and bris milah.
But they went out on the 15th.
They went out the
Exodus says they went out on the 15th.
they went out the slaughter of the firstborn was on the 14th at midnight, and they went out the next day, which was actually the 14th.
So it's still the 14th, yeah.
It was the 14th
Because the day
Pesach-
in Israel
because you're-
starts at
because
Yeah,
sundown.
Pesach is the 14th of the month.
So I guess you're assuming that they get sick with the circumcision?
No, I'm
The
saying
third
that
day.
the circumcision had to have been before Pesach,
Oh, okay.
Right.
because they needed it for Pesach, but they couldn't also be still
Okay.
recovering.
Because you like interesting problems.
All right,
I don't want to, we'll leave this for after you're done.
all right.
But where did they bring that first Korban Pesach?
This is a question for a good, for a better scholar than myself,
Okay.
because they didn't have a Mishkan, they didn't have a temple, they didn't have an altar. How did they do that?
It explains what happened at the Red Sea, if you want to know the truth. What
Okay.
happened explains what happened all through the desert.
Jeez, I've been doing this for 40 years. I learned, I came to this realization that
No,
from this guy
keep
on,
going.
Yeah, they go
I
back
just
to
want to
the
make
story
your,
for
I
now.
just want to make your day.
this was in 1978, 79. That was how long ago I came to the realization that this is all nothing.
That's when I was born.
Yes, sir.
78.
It is so TM. Not sure if you can make adjustments to the video, but it appears blurry, both the whiteboard and the speaker.
Yeah, I can see from
It's
here
the-
that
it's
it's,
the glare.
but it doesn't really matter what it says. It
Well, they
says
can't read the
Adam,
words.
Noah, Moses, Isaiah, Yeshua Mamzer, or JC Penney, Paul, his sidekick, sometimes called Saul, Muhammad, Joseph Smith, and me. That's all that is. You can just make it on your own handwriting if you want to. You don't have to see that.
Yeah, don't worry
It's
about
just
what
a
the
timeline.
blackboard says.
It's just a timeline. I'm here. Yeshua's here. I have to go back. I can't, it doesn't matter to me what Muhammad said, because Muhammad is just adding on to the mistake that Yeshu made or Paul made. So I had these questions and I asked questions to the wrong people and I started stepping on toes. When I joined the military, it was the first time I met an actual Jewish guy who happened to be black and he happened to be a convert. But he was committed to the Judaism, as far as I could tell from the outside looking in. And at this time, I was still a Catholic leaving the church because I didn't have anything to go on. And I said, I think he was singing Hebrew while he was ironing his clothes in the day room. That's how I understood that he was Jewish. Okay. So,
No, keep talking, Matt.
all right.
People are complaining about the glare from the door, so I'm just wondering if maybe we turn the camera just a little bit.
Yeah, maybe.
That light right there was shining right on that top of it. Set the light off.
I don't want to get the door.
No, I think you better.
Yeah, go ahead, Matt.
All right. So the first Jewish guy I met was the guy in the barracks when I was in basic training. And he said, you got some really good questions. Find an Orthodox rabbi, which was the beginning of the concept for me. Consult your local Orthodox rabbi, CYLOR. I'm having it right here. CYLOR. Consult your local Orthodox rabbi. Consult your local Orthodox rabbi, the guy who knows you, because that
Right.
guy will be able to answer your questions for you. So the first rabbi I ran across was in my first duty station, which is in Denver. And he told me that you don't have to convert to follow the God of Israel. You can be a righteous Gentile. That's a new concept to me. So I started asking questions and I started doing some research. Yes, sir.
How long ago was that?
1979.
When you guys told you you could be a righteous Gentile?
Yeah,
If you didn't have to convert to Judaism?
right. 1979. In July of 1979.
That's interesting.
My first duty station was in Anchorage, Alaska. Denver, that was for tech school, for training, learning how to do my job. My first duty station was Anchorage, Alaska. They had a rabbi on base, Alan Klein, and they had a rabbi in town whose name I'm sorry to say I don't remember.
But I have it.
Oh, you do? And his
I
name?
told you, yeah,
Yeah.
I don't remember it, but
Okay.
we have it. I told you, you have to write a response to that article.
I would love to. So Rabbi Klein worked with me carefully, closely for 2 years and reemphasized, he knows about the Noahide covenant and I can work on that. There are some things that I can do as a Gentile, some things I must not do as a Gentile. I should not, like wear tzitzit, the little fringes that come off the clothing.
Right.
Shouldn't wear those because I'm not Jewish. And someone seeing me wear those may assume I'm Jewish and therefore think that because a Jew is doing it, it's okay for everybody to do. But I'm not Jewish. So when you do that, you're really asking for the Jews to be blamed for your mistakes. That's why I don't wear tzitzit.
Me too, brother. Amen.
I keep a hat on my head. There's no commandment for a Jew to wear a kippah, except for the fact that the rabbis have, yes, please. The rabbis have determined that a Jew should wear a hat. So they wear a hat, but it's not a covenant commandment. It's a teaching from the sages, from the people that came before. I wear a hat because in the military, if you're outside, you put a cover on. If you're inside, you only wear a hat if you're wearing a sidearm. I happen to have a sidearm. And I was in the military for a lot of time, so I wear a hat. I use the hat the same way a farmer does. I keep the sun off my solar collector. It is not a religious commandment. I do, however, feel undressed if I'm not wearing a hat because I'm under the heavens with nothing between me and God. This is to remind me there is somebody above me. This is a reminder, that's all. Besides the fact that I'm keeping sunlight off the solar collector, it's to remind there's somebody above me. There's a seeing eye, a hearing ear, and a hand that writes down everything. I have to remember, so I wear a hat. I don't wear the tzitzit. The tzitzit are for the Jews to remind them that there are 613 commandments, one of which is to tack on tzitzit.
The ZZs are for the Jews of the 613 commandments to remind them. Okay?
Right.
Okay, repeat. Hold on.
The tzitzit are worn by Jews. Well, actually, it's a biblical commandment. They wear it because it's a biblical commandment. But one reason that has been given why a person should wear tzitzit is to remind them, it's a visual reminder of the 613 commandments. But a Jew wears tzitzit because it's commanded by Torah. We're not commanded to wear tzitzit, the regular Gentiles.
I want you to say that part too, but it quit recording you.
Yeah, okay. So the rabbi that I saw, Rabbi Alan Klein, worked with me for 2 years, and I started collecting some books. One of them was called You Take Jesus, I'll Take God. That's a fascinating book. It's a thin book. I still have my copy. It's falling apart. I've read it so many times that it is literally falling apart. I got a book called Jews, the God